Salvete discipuli. In this video, we will explore the story venalicius, in which Caecilius goes to the harbor in order to buy a new slave for the house. Okay, let's get started. Caecilius ad portum ambulat. Caecilius walks to the harbor. Now, you could also translate that as port. Caecilius portum circumspectat. Caecilius looks around the harbor. Argentārius nāvem Syriam videt et ad nāvem ambulat. The banker sees a Syrian ship and walks to the ship. Okay, so the banker is Caecilius. They've just shifted to a synonym for him. The story will be going back and forth like that. Syphāx prope nāvem stat. Syphāx stands near the ship. Okay, so you remember in the last story we learned how the accusative is used after important prepositions like ad, meaning to. Well, prope is another preposition that has an accusative after it. So when you want to say something is near something else, you say prope and you use the accusative. Salve Syphāx, clāmat argentārius. Hello, Syphāx, shouts the banker. Syphāx est venalicius. Caecilium Syphāx salutat. Now, before you translate, okay, so Syphāx is a slave dealer, but who's greeting whom in the next sentence? Caecilium Syphāx salutat. I hope by now you are looking at that ending and saying, that's accusative. That is not the subject of a verb. That's the object of a verb, and so Syphāx greets Caecilius. Caecilius servum quaerit, Syphāx ridet. Caecilius is looking for a slave. Syphāx smiles. Now, the reason he smiles is he's a slave dealer. You know, this is his job. He's happy that he has some business here. Ecce, Syphāx magnum servum habet. Look, Syphāx has a large slave. So you imagine some really big guy, you know, like he's thinking maybe Caecilius is after a slave who's going to do some hard labor, and so he brings out this large slave. Caecilius servum spectat, argentārius non est contentus. Caecilius looks at the slave. The banker is not happy. In other words, that's not what Caecilius is looking for today. Argentārius servum non emet. Vinum, clāmat Syphāx. The banker does not buy the slave. Wine, shouts Syphāx. Now, what Syphāx is trying to do here is he wants to keep Caecilius in his place of business. And so if he can give Caecilius a glass of wine, Caecilius is going to hang around. Maybe he can find a different slave that Caecilius is interested in buying. Ancilla vinum bonum ad Caecilium portat. A slave girl carries good wine to Caecilius. Argentārius vinum bibit. Caecilius ancillam spectat. The banker drinks the wine. Caecilius looks at the slave girl. Ancilla est pulchra, ancilla ridet. The slave girl is pretty. The slave girl smiles. Now, this verb ridet is another interesting case in Latin of a word that can mean two things, which in English we consider two different concepts. Ridet can mean smiles or laughs. Now, I don't know about you, but I am capable of smiling without laughing. I am even capable of laughing without smiling, but in Latin, that verb can mean both. Ancilla Caecilium dēlectat. Literally, the slave girl pleases Caecilius. Okay, so the verb dēlectat means to please something. Ancilla is nominative. It is the subject of the verb dēlectat. Caecilium is accusative. It is the object of dēlectat, okay? But this verb is essentially the same thing as the Spanish verb gustar, okay? So when you say, me gusta la comida, literally, the food pleases me, but that's how you say in Spanish, I like the food, okay? So dēlectat is exactly the same thing. So I would like you to, of course, know that Caecilium is accusative, but feel free to translate this as Caecilius likes the slave girl. Venalicius quoque ridet. The slave dealer also smiles. Now, he's smiling because he realizes he may be able to make a sale here after all. Caecilius seems to like this slave girl. Melissa canam optimam coquit inquit venalicius. Melissa cooks an excellent dinner, says the slave dealer. Melissa linguam Latīnam discit. Melissa est docta et pulchra. Melissa learns the Latin language. Melissa is learned and pretty. Melissa, you see, he's trying to sell Melissa. And Caecilius then says, satis, satis, clāmat Caecilius. Enough, enough, shouts Caecilius. Caecilius Melissam emit, et ad villam revenit. Caecilius buys Melissa and returns to the house. Melissa Grumiõnem dēlectat. Melissa Quintum dēlectat. Remember, dēlectat means pleases, but you can feel free, even though you know this is accusative, you can feel free with this verb to reverse the order and make it so-and-so likes so-and-so. Grumio likes Melissa. Quintus likes Melissa. Ēheu! Ancilla Metellam non dēlectat. Oh no, Metella does not like the slave girl. I mean, let's be honest. Why does Metella not like the slave girl? Well, it's because Metella est docta et pulchra. Metella maybe feels a little jealous about this situation.